Once upon a time in the enchanting Andalusian city of Seville, where Islamic civilization in Andalusia was at its peak in science and medicine, and where hospitals bustled with patients and doctors in the late 11th century AD, a boy of noble Arab descent was born named Abu Marwan Ibn Zuhr, and later known as Ibn Zuhr. While his peers played in the city streets, he spent long hours in his father's clinic, observing patients, listening to doctors' diagnoses, and meticulously recording his observations about symptoms and treatments. His keen eyes caught the finest details in patients' conditions, and his young mind sought to understand the secrets of the human body and how to heal it. He studied medicine under his father and uncles, then expanded into philosophy, logic, and language, realizing that a skilled physician must be encyclopedic. During that period, Andalusia was experiencing intense political conflicts among the ruling powers, and relations between physicians and jurists were sometimes strained. Perhaps he was not imprisoned, but he suffered from doubts and accusations, and he had to exercise wisdom in his dealings with authority and his colleagues. He believed that medical truth could not be hidden, and that experience was the strongest proof, but he was also realistic in dealing with his circumstances. These challenges strengthened his resolve to spread his knowledge and defend his ideas, but in a wise manner. His book Al-Taysir fi Mudawat Washington Al-Tadbir, The Facilitation of Treatment and Management, is considered one of the most important references in clinical medicine. His books were translated into Latin and other European languages and became essential references in European universities for many centuries. He had a great impact on the development of medicine in Europe and paved the way for the emergence of modern medicine. Ibn Zuhr is considered one of the greatest physicians in human history, and he influenced generations of doctors after him, including his student and friend Ibn Rushd, and let them know that healing bodies is among the noblest deeds, and that knowledge is the light that illuminates the paths of darkness and reveals the secrets of health and well-being. In this book, Ibn Zuhr described many diseases with a precision unprecedented before him, and presented new treatments based on experience. He was the first to describe pericarditis, inflammation of the heart sac, esophageal obstruction, scabies, and their treatment methods. And belief in the power of practical experience are the keys to success in any field. It reminds us that challenges can be a catalyst for creativity, and that truth is worth fighting for. Ibn Zuhr was a model of the scholar-physician who combined theory and practice, and left an indelible mark on the history of human civilization. He was also a pioneer in surgery, describing some complex surgical procedures, such as the removal of bladder stones. He believed in the importance of dissection and animal experimentation to understand the human body. Ibn Zuhr found himself at the heart of these storms. He understood that his role as a physician was to alleviate human suffering, and that medical truth was worth fighting for. Ibn Zuhr departed in body, but his intellectual spirit remained alive in his books, which became lighthouses illuminating the paths of science and knowledge. His story is the story of a human being who believed in the power of experience and the importance of serving humanity, even if the price was facing challenges and doubts. He was known for his benevolence and his ability to reconcile knowledge and practice, and theory and application. He did not aim for fame or wealth. His ultimate goal was to serve science and humanity. He believed that medicine was the craft of crafts and that it brought man closer to the Creator. He continued to write and teach, leaving behind a vast legacy of works in various medical sciences. Ibn Zuhr is considered one of the most prominent physicians of Andalusia and a pioneer of experimental medicine in the Islamic world, and his most important works are his books on clinical medicine. He had to deal with the shifts in power, make difficult decisions, and maintain his professional independence in an environment that often did not readily accept new ideas. His bold medical ideas, which advocated for experimentation and dissection, provoked the resentment of some traditional jurists and some physicians who clung to old practices. Ibn Zuhr grew up in a distinguished family renowned for medicine for several generations. His father, grandfather, and uncles were prominent physicians. Therefore, he decided that his quest for knowledge would be a practical journey, combining theoretical study with practical application in hospitals and clinics. This idea was bold in his time, where tradition often prevailed over experimentation, which provided him with a fertile environment for the growth of his passion for medicine from an early age. He moved between the cities of Andalusia, from Seville to Córdoba, then to Fez in Morocco. He worked as a private physician for some princes and rulers, then as a doctor in hospitals, and later as a minister and advisor. Each position was a new window into a world of challenges and drama. He personally witnessed the vicissitudes of power, the conflicts of the Taifa kings, and then the rule of the Almoravids. He saw how people's health was affected by political and social conditions, and how science could alleviate human suffering. From his childhood, Ibn Zuhr was not like other children. Ibn Zuhr believed that true knowledge in medicine lay not only in books, but in experience and clinical observation. In the prime of his youth, Ibn Zuhr began his medical and practical career. However, Ibn Zuhr's journey was not paved with roses. At one point, Ibn Zuhr was subjected to significant pressure due to his intellectual and scientific stances. Despite these challenges, Ibn Zuhr never ceased to contribute. Ibn Zuhr possessed a unique personality. He was humble despite his vast knowledge, patient in his research, and persistent in his pursuit. In the field of medicine, his achievements were a true revolution. Ibn Zuhr's influence was not limited to the Islamic world. In his later years, after a life full of scientific contributions and humanitarian service, he passed away in Seville, 1161 AD. The story of Ibn Zuhr teaches us that the passion for knowledge, perseverance in seeking truth, and belief in the power of practical experience are the keys to success in any field. It reminds us that challenges can be a catalyst for creativity, and that truth is worth fighting for. Ibn Zuhr was a model of the scholar-physician who combined theory and practice, and left an indelible mark on the history of human civilization. Let generations be inspired by the story of this great physician, and let them follow his determination in seeking knowledge, and let them know that healing bodies is among the noblest deeds, and that knowledge is the light that illuminates the paths of darkness and reveals the secrets of health and well-being.